So we just grabbed a bite to eat. So pardon me if I have crud in my teeth. He is now, you will probably be able to hear shortly the lawnmower. So he came home and put on some work clothes and is out mowing the lawn. So I'm going to do some house cleaning stuff. And yes, I'm tipsy. I know it looks like we just chilling all the time, but I just happened to catch it on camera when we are, because that's the only time that we have to do such things. But it actually is rare that we're able to find a moment in a weekend like this. So it's good to get things done and enjoy one another. Anyway, that's just too much. But you're probably thinking, what good are you as a wife? Girl, just find someone who genuinely loves you and it'll be good enough. Even your shortcomings will be good enough. Girl, all you gotta do is choose someone based on character and who genuinely loves you and who you are. But in order for them to love you for you who you are, you gotta know who that is instead of trying to model yourself after all these other people that don't have it together that you are impressed by. There's a guy that loves you for whoever you are. There really is someone for everyone. But if you out there entertaining all the ones who, you know, like feminists, for instance. Like self-proclaimed feminists, for instance. My thing is, it's easy to villainize all men when you spend all your energy entertaining all the wrong ones. Instead of acknowledging that you might have manhood fucked up, you still trust your definition of manhood and figure they all cheat and all no good and this and that. And on top of that, you subconsciously bait for the type of guy who ain't gonna be shit. We gotta have titties and makeup popping and then feel some kind of way when you gain a little weight and he's not okay with that. Girl, I know it sounds simple, but that's only because it is. Why didn't you just choose someone who didn't invest their love and everything they have into you because of what you look like in the first place? I just had a conversation with one of my sisters, and the conversation went a little something like, well, she was feeling some kind of way because one of her friends, a friend now who I would assume is a genuine friend of hers, but how she was upset because she fixed this chick up on a date with one of her guy friends, and she came dressed in jeans and a t-shirt or in a shirt, you know, some jeans and a shirt or whatever, to go on this date. And so my sister's perspective is that you don't come, you present yourself a certain way. You don't do anything like that. And I'm like, this ain't a conversation we can have smoothly, because you're not going to make me understand why it was wrong of her to come to show up on the date in how she's comfortable. She's like, you mean to tell me you would go on a date? I was like, yes, I would, and I have in jeans and a shirt, not dressed up how someone else should be able. She's like, but you don't want people to think you do. I was like, that's the whole thing. If someone's going to think something based on something like that, then that person needs to think that, and we need to not waste any energy with each other. I was down with this friend. Now I don't know who she is, but I was down with this friend that wore sneakers and a shirt. And in my head, this chick who is probably getting shaded by people that are telling her, that's not where you wear on a first date. People that's shading her about that, I bet you this chick end up with a dude that loves her. And I bet you all these people that feel like you need to dress a certain way to impress some trifling ass dude that you meeting for a date, the dude that they end up with, there will be issues that the jeans and shirt chick are not gonna have, because she building her relationship on character, while y'all concerned with people's FICO score and what kind of car they drive, and what kind of house they have and business they do or don't own, and how and what kind of designer label they can or can't afford to rock. Because let me tell you, genuinely wealthy people are looking at you and laughing, boo-boo. Genuinely wealthy people understand that that's just your impression of what being impressive is. It's actually a red flag for them to know not to let you anywhere near their, hey boo, come here. Come here. Yeah, well, come here. You better not mess with the You almost did, didn't you? You almost did. So yeah, we needed to move on to the next subject, because she wasn't going to make me see her perspective in terms of you should wear some way. But the conversation ended with me saying, well, boo, I was like, just for the record, I was like, pay attention if you ever invite me to anywhere that you think that I need to dress a certain way for you then, because I don't want to embarrass you. You know, but she stopped me before I even got there. She was like, I know you. So, and good thing, because you're not going to have me, you're not going to think that I'm just going to assume that I need to dress a certain way to impress some people. I know that there's a time and place for everything, and there's attire that's appropriate, quote unquote appropriate for different things. But, you know, especially when you're talking about something like that, a date, honey, most of the guys that I would even consider having dated complimented me in my gym attire when I was looking my raunchiest. Those are the guys that I actually considered took a real interest in me. A guy that can see you when you look your worst, and it's beautiful to him. Anyway, how did I get on that? I just be, you know, because I know it always sounds like I'm shading y'all, but I am shading y'all because I be mad because everybody else got to lay in the bed you made. You know, you're the victim in everybody else's eyes because you're the female, but nobody is giving you the responsibility for having chosen to entertain a trifling ass dude from the jump. Nobody's doing that. It's so quick to, you know, they're the victim, you know. They baited the kind of guys that like cleavage. Not one or two, the whole string of motherfuckers they chose to date. Because this is the bait this was the initiate. And I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, no, well, you do want to be presentable or whatever. Presentable according to who, bitch? And that's what I don't even mind that that's your choice. But the fact that that's your choice, and then when you get caught up in your trifling ass relationship, you're going to have to run outside of that relationship to get shoulders a crown for all of the mistreatment he giving you and all the difficulty you having in your relationship. Okay, so people have to let you cry on their shoulder and be like, "Ooh, girl, he ain't no good," or whatever. And he ain't no good. But he didn't ask you to date him or be in a relationship with him at gunpoint. There's a 99.9% chance. Not that he's not capable of doing something like that, okay? But he did not ask you to date him at gunpoint. You could have easily been like, well, you know, you could have just said you're not my type. Okay, you could have ended that right there. Just like some of the bitches that in the club, and when a dude asks you to dance, you know, I've heard females tell me it's rude of me to not, you know, their answer, the proper answer is not right now. Well, my answer ain't not right now, because it's not gonna be never. So if you asked me to dance, I wasn't rude, and I said no. No, thank you. I don't have to thank him for asking me to dance. No. It's not rude or anything, no. Well, maybe later. No, because that's the next word. See, we have that out of the way. Now they don't need to come back later, because I've already told them not even later. You bitch, you can't stand the smell of them. Their breath smells. They keep harping you to ask you to buy you a drink because they want you to act married to them for the rest of the night. Okay? And you complain. Don't complain to me, because you telling me I'm wrong for saying no. But I'm not the one having to still deal with him, and you over here, oh, he getting on my nerve. Don't talk to me about it. Don't discuss it with me. I don't need to lay in the bed that you made. Okay? So a lot of you, yeah, you're victims still. In the end, you're victims. But a lot of you motherfuckers are having to go to people behind a dude that's disrespectful or cheating on you or whatever. You mad at the other woman like it's her fault. It ain't never the other woman's fault. And not in now one case. You mad at the other woman, or where he's just abusing you and disrespecting you, you know, verbally and physically. But you didn't know he wasn't like that at first. Those are famous words. Basically, you spread them for a bitch made motherfucker that you didn't really even know. That's the choice you made, and now I feel bad for you that you're stuck in this situation. But everybody feels you compassion pimp everybody to not to be able to say you made that choice. And not only that, the ones of you that that bring a child into that shit. Do you know what you do to those children? Do you even know what you do to those children? Those children don't know what you doing to them until everything's ready to escalate. This was supposed to be an inspirational vlog, really, so I just got to thinking about Mr. and I was like, every female should be so fortunate. And the stem of all my furor at basic bitches is the fact that you got a choice. But you get caught up, and then you go to other people like you didn't have a choice. So then everybody else has to bail you out. I know what you're saying. Oh, it's not as easy as that. You've never been through it, so you don't know. And that is true. But you know why I never been through it? Because I saw bitch after bitch after bitch after bitch after bitch go through it. And even as a little bitty girl, I was like, man, it seemed real obvious to me what not to do. Go and act like a hoe and get treated like one. Don't act like a hoe. And don't entertain guys that treat females like hoes. Period. Then there's a 100% chance that you'll only end up with a dude that is a man who is a gentleman and knows how to deal with ladies. 2 + 2 still equals 4. I just wanted to encourage you that you have a choice. And if you're not dating anybody right now, you don't have to repeat your history of fucked up relationships. This can be the beginning of your ability to say, I ain't dealt with no unhealthy relationships since 2014, and it's just something I'm not going to do anymore. You have the option to say that and mean it and follow through. And somebody encouraging you to take responsibility for your own fucking choices is not a hater. It's not a person that just because they don't understand. Because what you're doing then is making them the villain just because they're looking at you saying, what don't you understand about the sooner that you look in the mirror and take responsible for certain choices, the quicker everything can do a 360. Excuse me, 180. You want to be going in the opposite direction you're going. Everything, it could be a 180, and you could everything will just turn right around, and overnight just constructive shit will start happening to you and in your life, and you'll be like, damn. Different type of people will be drawn to you. And then you'll have a choice of which ones to entertain or not. You'll get the kind of picky that you think I am. You think I'm picky. Well, you know what? When you start attracting a better quality of people, you can be a little more selective. Oh, she shook the table on that, didn't she? I just check you because I love you. And I see the people claiming to love you, enable you. So I'm going to need you to man up, bitch, because you need to see your value the way I see it. And then when you see it the way I see it, which is a step above where you are now, then you can see it the way the new you will see it, which will be a value well exceeding anything I or any other outside person that can give you, because you have given it to yourself. And in doing so, you have basically instructed on other people on the level of respect with which to deal with you. So you can't go out and because somebody is not a gentleman, or they're not being responsible or loyal or faithful or to somebody, get mad and be like, they don't even know how to treat women. I saw this dude, he didn't even pull a lady's chair out or whatever. That's that dude. You don't never have to entertain that dude. She does. Whoever with that sorry ass. That don't even tell you about him. That tells you about her choices. Again, taking responsibility for that type of thing. But don't get mad at that, because that's a choice she made. Just look at that and say, whoa. Let me see what kind of female she is, because that's not something I want to be. Because that attracts and entertains that dude, you know. Because I see it and I'm like, ooh, that's so disrespectful. And it's just funny to me, because I'm like, ooh, seemed like she would have wanted to choose differently. Guess not. I bet it seemed to her friends like she would have wanted to choose differently when they got to bail her out of whatever shit he dipped her into. Because why? They got to lay in the bed that she made. She ain't responsible. She's the victim. But she wanted a baller. Girl, bye. You got options. Life is too complicated in this country for us right now, so you got to man the fuck up and build yourself a quality of life like none other. Prayers up.
And we're a winner. And everybody knows the truth. We just keep on pushing. Like your leaders tell you to. At last that blessed day has come. And I don't care where you come from. Come on, moving on up. Moving on up. Lord have mercy, we're moving on up. Moving on up. Woo. To show the world we had no fear, cause we're a winner. And everybody knows the truth, we just keep on pushing. Like your leaders tell you to.